Huh.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Don't forget to hit the mute button because it won't let us mute beforehand.
I did that already. I like to open up another window and then I'll hit the mute button.
The mute button.
Smaller.
Yeah.
That way it's ready to go.
Yeah.
So, howdy, everybody. And I see Steven, Ivan, Pilo, JDS, Bloomberg, and
What the heck?
Somebody's in here, JDS. I saw Black Mamba took off. Kind of missed that one by that much.
What's up, Pilo, JDS, Tilapia Store, or Dave, I think. Rob Schaller, Pedro, Scott's in the house, Ivan.
Oh,
Pretty much everyone you just said.
Yeah, Pedro, Scott, Paula's in the house. Hey, Paula.
what's going
What's up,
on?
Paula?
Late live stream.
Yeah, late.
Thank the changing of hours at work.
Yeah, it's not my fault.
Oh, it's all my fault. It's always my fault. That's where hashtag blame RevSys TV came from.
Yeah, all the usual suspects. Yeah. And you're the one who hits the like button, so we have to wait for you to get there and get ready and all that other fun stuff.
Just like a woman always has to wait.
Thanks.
No offense to all my ladies out there. Paula just posted her first blog post in over a year. Nice.
I'll have to go and look at that. Hopefully it's under the same name.
Is it blog or vlog?
Blog.
Yeah, she wrote blog, but...
Oh, vlog.
Well, I know she loves to be on camera so much. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, you know, we haven't even picked on her about joining us for quite a while. GatebeatScrub.com. Okay.
Dave.
Oh, Bloomberg.
What's up, Bloomberg? I didn't even say hi. Oh, hey. Sorry. I'm like looking at the chat. I'm like, where's Bloomberg?
I'm here.
There he is.
I've been hanging out in the chat with everybody like Lisa, and Pilo, and JDS, and everybody's been in there for a good while.
Yeah, Rev.
And then we were having fun. We were having fun on that chat, and all of a sudden Rev deleted it and made a new one. I was like, "What the heck happened?"
Yeah, because I did that one from my phone, and it wasn't a Hangout. So when I went to start it up, I couldn't do a Hangout. So I had to delete that one and actually do a Hangout one. Otherwise,
that makes sense. I was like, well, I guess it's canceled tonight.
Yeah,
nope.
I was the first person to make a comment in the chat however many hours ago. And I'm like, okay, why is it gone?
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, so what's going on, everybody?
Not a whole lot.
Not much.
Nothing.
Another cold day in paradise.
Yeah, it was nice yesterday. It was like 59 degrees. And then today it's 40 or 30. Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 38 degrees. Tonight, expect a low of 37 degrees.
There you go.
Alexa, what's the temperature in Franklin, Tennessee?
Right now, in Franklin, Tennessee, it's 23 degrees. Tonight, expect a low of 16 degrees.
There you go.
Joe's in the house. Hey, Joe.
What's up, Joe?
It's cold here.
It's cold here.
So if I say, Alexa, what's the temperature in Mankato, Minnesota?
Right now, in Mankato, Minnesota, it's 5 degrees. Tonight, expect a low of 2 degrees.
Yeah, so it's a relatively nice day. It's only like minus 11 wind chill.
Yeah.
Things are looking up for you.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, according to the forecast, this is the coldest day we're going to have, and then it's going to start warming up over the next 2 weeks. We're supposed to get into the 30s by like Saturday.
Yeah, by Saturday it's supposed to be up into the 60s here, and we're supposed to kind of ride out in like the 50s and 60s for the rest of the extended forecast, with lows like in the upper 40s, low 50s, which I'll take that all day. That means spring is a coming.
We're getting the 30s at night. The next 2 nights, can't wait. And back to the 90s. So yeah, when it gets down into the 30s, open all your windows and get it nice and cold in the house. And when it starts warming back up again, take and close them. Save on the air conditioning. What's kombucha? Kombucha. Isn't that a fermented cabbage?
No, it's
No, you're thinking of kimchi.
kimchi.
Ah,
Yeah.
right.
Kombucha's a fermented tea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bernie's in the house. Hey, Bernie, how you doing tonight?
What's going on, Bernie?
What's up, Bernie?
Yep. Yeah,
Good
never
morning, almost good Tuesday.
It's a drink. Fermented tea. Never had it.
I have. It's not bad.
It has like living bacteria and stuff in it that's really good for you.
Yeah, and if you take that bacteria and you take it and put it into more fermenting tea or more tea, you can get that fermenting and make more kombucha. It's what do they call that? It's
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of the word either. Paula would know.
yeah.
The what?
It's whatever the living bacteria. It's like a little like jelly looking thing that floats in it.
The mother.
SCOBY, there it is.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a mother, but they call it a SCOBY.
Okay.
Man, I never would have guessed that one.
I wouldn't have either. I knew it, like I've heard it a bunch of times, but I'm not into that, like to the point that I would know off the top of my head.
Yeah, I wanted to make some just for the heck of it, but never got around to it.
Yeah, Dave Happy Pepper makes it, and he was telling me a whole bunch about it one time, and I was thinking about trying it sometime too. I mean, it's not really that hard to do. It just takes some time.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of videos on how to do it. It's pretty good. Oh, that's right. It's symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, SCOBY.
Yep. Well, what was that stuff that Troll was making? Like mead, but I forget what it was.
I'm not exactly sure.
It was made with maple syrup and yeast and water. He said it was it's like a maple wine or something like that. It's made the same way that mead is made.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I was thinking that sounded good.
What's up, Happy Pepper?
What's up, Dave?
What's up, Dave?
Speaking of the devil, there he is.
Happy Pepper, second fermentation. Steven, I'm not a fan of the Chrysler 300. They're too small inside. I feel claustrophobic. The seats don't go back far enough for me to sit comfortably. The Grand Cherokee.
Regular Cherokee. Old school, 87 to 2001, I believe.
I had a 95 Jeep Grand Cherokee for like 5 years and loved it.
I had 2 Jeep Cherokees. I had an 87 AMC Jeep Cherokee 5-speed 4.0 with 4-wheel drive, and I had a 1995 5-speed 4-wheel. That was a Chrysler. 95 5-speed 4-wheel drive. Bare bone, no options whatsoever. Roll down, crank windows, all that. I think it had AC. Maybe it didn't have AC. I don't know. I just put the windows down anyway. And I miss both of those trucks. I wish I had them still.
Yeah, I really liked my Jeep. I traded it in for my F-150. Paula says, I make mead too. It's not really that close. Mead is more like making wine or beer. Okay.
Yeah, JT made me a couple times. Got to get JT on one of the live streams drinking some mead. Well, we did.
Yeah, I was just thinking we did, didn't we?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Second batch.
That was a night everybody was drinking. I think it was one of those 5-hour live streams, actually.
Jesus.
Saturday night, my live stream was 6.5 hours long, and I was toast by the time I was done.
Yeah, I bet that's a long time.
I haven't done a 6-hour live stream in a long time. I think last summer. I'll have to fix that sometime.
That's not true. What about New Year's?
Oh, geez, oh man.
Well,
I don't
you
know.
like went to sleep for a while, so that doesn't really count.
Yeah, I don't know. What about New Year's?
Yeah, you kind of got woke up by the phone, and all of a sudden there's people jumping back in and talking to you. And yeah, if you remember.
No. And
I remember, and I didn't go to sleep. And that was.
I wasn't even there on New Year's. I was asleep by like 12:30, I think.
There was
Adam's in the house. Hey, Adam.
What's up, Rocky?
What's up, Adam and Rocky and
Hey, Rocky.
Hydroponics.
Yeah, I used to have a 2001 Dodge Ram, the 5.9. That sucker got like 10 miles to the gallon. I love that truck. I said I was never going to get rid of it. The ignition went out on it, and I just got so frustrated with not being able to, nail it down on what the exact problem was. I thought it was the starter, and you had to remove the header, or not the header, but the exhaust manifold to get to it. And I tried removing the exhaust off the exhaust manifold, and the bolts weren't coming. I mean, it just became such an issue. And finally, I just needed money, and this guy offered me $1,000. And I was like, fine, come, you get it, and, tow it out of here, and it's yours. He got it, and like within a week, he's like, hey, man, I'm driving your truck around, man. It cost me $15 for an ignition. I'm like, oh, well, that's great. Then he sold it for $7,000.
Yeah.
But now I had this 06 Dodge Ram. Wait, 06 Dodge Ram with the Hemi. The old one didn't have a Hemi. It just had the 5.9, the 360. This is what, a 345 cubic inch.
Yep. Hi everyone. Yeah, Rob's live stream almost had him like a zombie. Adam was watching it, and I was playing Dares Billions. So yeah,
Like
a zombie. Yep. Huh?
Like a white zombie?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pilo, I love my Hemi. But
yeah, I enjoy mine.
You got to be careful with it, though. Like it doesn't matter if it's raining or not. You'll spin tires. But in the rain, you cannot hit the gas whatsoever because you will spin tires. Like doing 40 and you floor it, you're going to spin tires.
I don't even have to floor mine. I can be in fourth gear going down the highway at, 55 miles an hour and push it down even a quarter and it'll break them loose. That's what happens if you got compound tires.
That's the only thing that sucks about them. But I think my truck weighs 5,500 pounds, and we had a 10,800 pound forklift that was stuck in like mud, and I had to go into the mud to get it, and I put that sucker in 4 low, and it just pulled that thing right out. I didn't even spin tires once. I couldn't believe it. I thought for sure I would spin a couple times, and then I would have to realign myself so I'm not in the same tracks and then do it. But no, that sucker pulled it right out.
Which muscle car would I own? I have my dream car. I have a Dodge Challenger right now. It's sitting in my garage right now. It's a Dodge Challenger SRT8. That is my dream car.
That
What
thing,
year?
2013.
that thing needs a bigger brother. You need like the Challenger Hellcat.
Or the new Angel coming out.
What is?
The Angel?
What is that like?
Well, there's the SRT8, then there's the Hellcat, and then above that is the Demon.
Yep.
And to go along with the Demon, they're coming out with the new Angel.
Is that going to be the 1,000 horsepower one? Oh, jeez. Awesome.
Archangel, that's it.
What is that? 6.4 Hemi with a supercharger and a dang it, just totally lost my train of thought. And a stroker kit in it?
I have no idea. I refuse to look at it because I'm going to want one if I do.
I'd be satisfied with just a Hellcat. 707 horsepower?
Well, yeah, they're what, 707, is it?
Yep. And then the Demon's 808.
Yeah, mine's pushing 550 right now, so 157 horses more.
Oh, that's a good point. All you need is a blower or a supercharger on there.
Well, even a single turbo will bring you up to 770. I can bring it to Hennessy's in California, and I think it's like $7 or $8 grand. I'll get it up to 770.
Nice. Do they take apart the engine and fix your rings and everything too?
Yep. Yeah, they pretty much rebuild it. So you get pretty much a brand new engine out of the deal. Plus, they go through and reprogram the computer for it to be optimum.
So they're just going to like change all the bearings and like the crank bearings and all that stuff?
Yeah, they go through and rebuild what needs to be rebuilt. I had an 81 Dodge Ram with a straight six. Had some good times in that thing. I had a 76 Dodge Dart with the 250 straight six in it. That thing
was it a straight six or a slant six?
slant six, yeah.
Oh.
And that thing just ran and ran and ran. No matter what I did to it. Granted, it didn't have a lot of horsepower, but the body fell apart before the engine conked out.
Because the two Jeeps I was talking about, it had a straight six in it, a 4.0.
Yeah, this was the 250 straight six, or whatever 250 is. 3.2 or 3. No, 4.0.
Yeah, that's what I had. 4.0.
It wouldn't be a 4.0 because every 60 mils is a liter, or every 60 cubic inches is a liter. So yeah, so 3 something. Because the 231 is the 3.8.
Susie had a Toyota Echo.
Huh?
Susie had a Toyota Echo.
I used to live in that thing.
Yeah, I went and drove a new Camaro, a new Corvette, a new Mustang, and something else, and the Challenger. And the Challenger by far was better than all the others that I drove. The Elephant. Yeah, no thanks.
What the heck is the Elephant?
It's a Chrysler SRT8 392 put into a Jeep that's jacked up.
Oh, nice.
I think it's a Jeep, but it's like a mini monster truck. It's a Hellcat engine. That's why it's Hell, and then Fant because it's so big and bulky, like an elephant.
I like it.
Yeah, it's cool, but very impractical.
I always like it when, I don't care what you do, but I love like when you see like a Wrangler and they drop like a V8 in it, or like a 4-cylinder diesel, or, you know, any engine modification. I think those are so cool.
Yeah,
With the older ones.
the city that I grew up in, one of the guys in town was into monster trucks, and he took it and put a 78 Corvette onto a monster truck frame. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, a friend of mine had a El Camino, I think, that he threw on a K5 Blazer frame. I think that's how it was. I don't know, there was a couple different monster cars that were around, but those were all cool and everything, and they were like all jacked up and had like 4-wheel drive and stuff like that. But nothing beat my 76 Nova with tractor tires on it.
Dang.
I had like 33 1250s in the back, and I forget what the car tires were in the front, but I had it all raked and everything. When you go around corners, the suspension was so crappy when you went around corners, the wheels would rub the wheel well, even though they were trimmed out on the inside.
Hey, Jesus.
What's up?
What's up, Zeus?
The lifted Cadillac Eldorado. I don't know if I'd like that.
Who's the Eldorado? Not a Cadillac fan. They're too rich for my blood.
Yeah, they're just not rough enough. No, I'm trying to think. Eldorado. What's the big Suburban that Cadillac makes?
That's the Escalade.
Okay, Escalade is what I was thinking. So I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
what
yeah. I was trying to think of which one the Eldorado is. I want to say that's like a 4-door, like car.
Oh, okay. Doug's in the house. Hey, Doug.
What's up, Doug?
What's going on, Doug?
What about a V6 from a Blazer and a Chevette? Well, I took a 229 V6 out of a Chevy Caprice and stuffed that into a 1972 Chevy Vega. So that's not too much different. I used to race a 76 Vega with the V8 under the hood. But in a Chevette, is that what it said? A V6 and a Chevette? Because a friend of mine modified a Pinto, and another friend of mine modified a Chevette. He had the V8 in the Chevette.
Hey, Susie. Well, hey, Bloomberg, how are your plants doing?
They're doing great. I've worked on transplanting another like 20 or so, and I killed like easily a dozen or more today.
Really?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
Intentional. I have too many. I mean, I wish there was somebody that lived close by to me that I could give them to, because I'd rather give them away than kill them. I mean, they're nice plants, but they're dead now. Well, maybe not dead, but they're drying out on a plate. Soon to be dead.
Yeah, you could have shipped them through the mail too. Haha, joke.
I mean, I'm still gonna end up having more I gotta get rid of.
Somebody send a self-addressed stamped box to Bloomberg. He'll ship you some plants. No guarantee.
But literally, like, look, here's like a whole group of plants, like nice roots, and I mean, they weren't like just started seedlings or anything. Like, they were like nice looking, like healthy, developed little plants, but they don't look so happy anymore. They're currently drying out.
Yeah, I've had 6 Vegas in my time. One of them I drag raced for 5 years. But yeah, with the roots like those are, Rob, you could take and wrap them in wet newspaper, wrap the rest of it, and wrap it all in wet newspaper, send them through the mail. And yeah, if it's somebody who's not going to have it sitting outside their house and freezing cold, I used to order plants for my aquarium through the mail.
Yeah, that's a good point. That could be wrapped up like that, like without the soil, just like
Uh-huh.
wrapped up in wet paper towel. I had never thought about it like that.
Yeah, because you can even put a little bit of soil around the roots, wrap them in a Ziploc bag, have it moist, and then fold it off, and then wrap all of it in wet newspaper so the leaves are all facing one way, and then pack them in a box with packing and send them that way. If you send it priority,
Yeah.
they're only going to be in the box for 2 days.
That's pretty
Take
neat.
a little it would take a little bit of recovery time for them to bounce back, but I'm sure that they could.
Yep.
It's a pretty neat looking card Doug posted in the chat. As soon as I clicked on it, I'm like, oh, right, an El Dorado. I remember those.
And Doug, I honestly can't remember what all there was. There was like a chocolate, I know there was a chocolate Texas Crimson Bonnet, Kang one. And then there was a Kang regular Texas Crimson Bonnet. There was one of my Pepper Z. There was a Elysium Oxide chocolate Scotch Bonnet.
Hey, Devin.
That's all I can really remember off the top of my head of the ones that I sacrificed. But there was a bunch more than that.
Pepper Putz is in the house. Hey, Devin, how you doing tonight?
What's up, Putz?
What's up?
How are your plants doing?
Me?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, they're just like dying. They're just so crowded. Like I've already, like Rob said, I've already had to kill so many. And there's ones up there that I'm just letting die. They're not even bothering, honestly. I'm just gonna replant them all. In the near future, I just haven't been motivated. I feel like I'm just peppered out, which is bad because it's like not even the start of the season. So
Well, it's because you've gone through like a whole season of keeping those things alive indoors.
I know.
I know that you did it under the excuse of, oh, it's fun to have something to work on to just kind of take my mind off things. Like, yeah, that's cool, but
So bad. I'm never doing this again.
pick up some other different hobby for during the winter and then like start them at a proper time. I was thinking about it today. I was like, I swear next year I don't care what Charles tries to make me convinced I need to do, which it wasn't his fault, but I'm just going to blame it on Charles because I was trying to keep him from planning his, and I was like, need to wait. And he was like, no, I'm going to do it. And I was like, well, I'm going to wait. And then I waited for like a week, and I was like, I can't take it. He's going to have plants, and I won't. And it just made me the most jealous person in the world. So I planted all my seeds like right before my birthday, which was the 10th of January. Like a week into January, I planted all my stuff, and it's already huge.
Yeah, but mine are, I don't know, because you can't get the same light out of an LED light. No matter how hard you try, it's not the sun. And it's not the outdoors where there's like wind and there's like bees and wasps and all that stuff. It's such a controlled environment, and it's so difficult when you start them so soon.
It's difficult to give them what they need.
Well, yeah, my super hots are great. Like they're fine. They're really low maintenance. They just do their thing. I top them once in a while. It's all good. But like I only have a few ahis left because I just was like, I got so frustrated. I freaking tossed one across the room the other day. Like I was like, it was in my way, and it was like, and I went to water one thing and it get caught, and I just, oh man, I was so pissed off at it. My shishitos are like, I'm getting pissed off at those because they're they're branching every direction. I'm just getting really fed up. I've already killed off all my Fresnos. I picked off all like the right peppers and killed them off. But anyway, on a happy note though, we did just grab a whole case of this hot sauce from this dude in Manitoba. So he's a local guy. He makes his own hot sauce. There's one called here Dragon Fruit Reaper. I don't even know where in Manitoba he is, but apparently he, like, I mean, they're really good. There's like a thing of 5.
That's pretty cool.
They're really good, yeah. Had that one on steak yesterday.
Cool.
But
Pepperpot says, yeah, we have a few around the shop hanging on the edge, but that scorpion through it all just won't die. Yeah, he went through and trimmed off a whole lot of leaves, and now it's gone into bush mode again. So now it's coming back with a whole bunch of new growth again.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see how it does this season. They got massive here.
And it's so cold in there that nothing is growing, and we still have aphids, not as bad as it was last year, but they're still taking their tolls on a couple of things. One of the plants got killed off by them, but we have plants that are 1 inch, 2 inches tall that have been like that for over a month. You know,
The
so
aphids are just
it's just so cold.
the cold and the aphids combo.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens when the winter, once it starts warming up next week.
That thing's like a freaking tree, man.
Yeah, if we hadn't been trimming it back, it'd probably be 8-10 feet tall by now.
Damn.
I mean, the trunk on it's about that thick right now, and it feels like solid hardwood.
The main
It's gotta
trunk?
be thicker than that. I bet the trunk on that thing's like easily that big. Right?
Well, it's quite possible, but our cat sizes are different too. So, but yeah, it's like a solid tree branch coming out of the ground now. It is no longer green; it is brown bark. But yeah,
Whenever you do away with that plant, you gotta dig it up and see, because I bet some of those roots have become woody, like the bigger roots coming off of it. But you gotta at least like cut back like the structure of it and like dry out that that base section with like some of the bigger roots coming off and just save it. Maybe
that
make
would
something.
be pretty cool. Well, when we took it out of the last thing it was in was a 5-gallon bucket before it went into the box that it's in now. And you could see hard roots down at the bottom going around the outside, and they look like bark down there. And so the whole thing came up all in one big mass, dirt and all and everything else, and we loosened it up and set it down into the new compost, and it's been liking it. Make a pimp cane.
Make a pimp cane. That's awesome.
JDS says, I think I'm going to order ladybugs.
You should. Those things are cheap on Amazon, and they get there quick. Most of the time, they're almost all alive. I think I've ordered them like 8 times, I think, and I think only one time they came dead. I contacted the people that sold them to me. They shipped new ones out like the next day. Not only that, but make a video of them when you release them, because those guys go everywhere. They're great. I was ordering them. I think I ordered like 5,000 at a time.
Yeah, the only problem with me is it's in the store, so I don't want customers freaking out and
Like they're like aggressive bugs or anything.
yeah, but there are people that are so
it's weird because I don't like ladybugs. Like I used to have this huge phobia of ladybugs, and I don't know why. I swear one bit me. Like I swear. I just can't. I don't know. Ugh. But they're good. I like them. I like them on my plants. They're great on my plants. Like I hate spiders, but I like them on my plants. I hate wasps, but they're fine around my plants.
Probably don't go in and eat aphids. I sat and
I know.
Yeah. Probably don't like ladybugs because they have a tendency to want to land on the back of your neck, and you're always like, "What the heck is that?"
Well, then I always feel bad because I'm like, ugh, and then it like dies, and I'm like, oh.
JDS, the ladybugs are a great idea for the aphids. They'll go through one at a time and wipe them all out.
Have a good night, Happy Pepper.
Yep, have a good night, Happy Pepper.
Wait,
Nate.
you said you're gonna get ladybugs, but you don't want ladybugs?
Well, he doesn't want them, but if he needs them, he may
Oh.
settle for them. That's how I'm taking it.
Are you getting them for indoor or are you getting them for outdoor? Because JDS is in California. If you're doing outdoor, they're only going to be there until the aphids are gone. Then they're gone. They just stick around for the food. And when the food's gone, they're gone.
But they will lay eggs, and those eggs will hatch, and you'll have nymphs. In the nymph stage, they eat more aphids than they do in the adult stage, too. So
I had a bunch of ladybug eggs on my plants last year.
Well, see, that's something that I found interesting. I didn't do my indoor hydroponics in the upstairs room this year, but last year, all throughout the whole winter, I had ladybugs in the room, and I'd see them on the plants and that kind of stuff, but I never saw an aphid or anything else anywhere in that room, and I attribute it to the ladybugs being around. I don't know where they go and hide, but they keep coming back.
That's like
Just let them do their thing.
JT just kept finding ladybugs inside his house. Like he'd go in the upstairs and like all of a sudden there's more ladybugs and he'd take them back down to the basement.
See, if I let ladybugs loose in like this room, they'd get under the door, and then my cats would just kill them anyways.
Yeah, well,
My cats would have a heyday.
JDS says he wants to use them indoor. What's the temperature there? Can you release like a bunch of them outdoor and then just take a few of them indoor? Because, yeah, you don't want like a whole house full of ladybugs. You don't want 5,000 ladybugs in one room. That would...
Yeah, but then you take a look at the other side of the coin is once those 5,000 are released and the food supply dies, they turn on each other. So they'll bring their own numbers down until a food supply comes back so that they can start laying eggs. They won't lay eggs if there's no food for them for the babies to have. Doug says, I took a June bug to the neck at 85 miles an hour on my bike a few years ago. That hurt. I took one right here, right off the side of the head at 110. I had an instant headache and had to stop and shake it off. It hit so hard, it felt like somebody threw a rock at me.
Were you like playing that Taylor Swift song while you were shaking it off?
I have no idea what you're talking about as far as the song goes, but I had no music on either. So, no, I wasn't.
I was at work today, and there was such a corny song that came on. I'm like, am I lame because I like that song? Like,
probably.
I find myself saying that all the time. Like, that's how I found out I like Justin Bieber. I'm like, who sings this? I love this song. You're like,
that
it's
Taylor Swift song it like melts my face off every time I listen to it. It's the worst song I've ever heard in my life. I hate it.
Which one?
Shake It,
Oh,
Baby.
no. Shake It Off. No, I don't like that song.
Oh God.
I like a couple Taylor Swift songs, but that was back when she was like doing.
Yeah, back when she was like kind of country and like and not like a sellout. Yeah. No offense to who likes Taylor Swift. I used to like her, but not anymore.
I can't say that I like any Taylor Swift songs.
I don't know. Like some of her her older stuff is like not bad. Like I mean, but they're all about the same thing. It's just so tiring. It's like, oh my God, okay, you had a failed relationship. Let's get over it.
I feel
you have to write a freaking song about every high school romance you ever had. Like Jesus.
I feel so bad for the next guy that dates her because you know that's going to become a song.
Yeah, exactly. There was, yeah. Well, Pilo's got it right. That Bish Taylor is a sellout. Yeah, and now she's all like, I don't know.
Going back to the aphids, Pepper Pet
Yeah,
said,
aphid.
honestly, JDS, a good vacuuming works also. You may lose a couple leaves, but cleans it up nice. Yeah,
like,
just make sure that you take and put the junk outside in a, empty the vacuum out right away. We just take it and throw it out in the cold and they all die, but you don't want to leave them in the vacuum because they can crawl out.
yeah, or like JT was doing. He was just doing the double cup method, and he would put his hand over the double cup so his hand or fingers would be around the stem, and he would just dip the plant in the fish tank. All the aphids would fall off, and the fish would eat the fish or eat all the aphids.
Well, it's good protein for the goldfish, and they'll eat just about anything.
Goldfish will eat anything. Catfish will eat anything too, including goldfish.
If they're big enough, yeah.
Yeah, ask me how I know.
I was in a pet store, and then they had a catfish in there, and he says, "You want to see something interesting?" He grabs a feeder guppy, throws it in the tank, and about 2 minutes later, the guppy gets down to the bottom, looks at the catfish, comes up, taps its nose, the catfish just goes, whoop, and it's gone.
Yeah, I had a little small. When I got it, it was probably only about this big. But it got to about that big. A little channel catfish in an aquarium for several years. It would have gotten huge if it had been in a pond, but being in an aquarium, it kept it at a smaller size for a long time. I mean, I fed it and it lived good. It just wasn't in a huge area, so it didn't have the ability to grow very large. But man, I'd go out to my creek in my yard and go dip net a bunch of little creek chub and stone rollers and different types of minnows. I'd put like a dozen, 15, 20 minnows in there in the aquarium. And sometimes it would go after some like while the lights were on, but it was usually as soon as I would like go to bed, turn off the lights and the TV, and all of a sudden I'd hear splashing and all kinds of commotion. I'd wake up in the morning, all the minnows are gone.
Yeah, when I put goldfish in with one of my catfish, which I got catfish, they were like this big, and whenever they died, the one was this big, and it was like this big around. That thing was huge. But no, same thing. I didn't know the cat. Well, this was, I don't know, 3-4 years ago in the wintertime. I didn't think I had any fish in my tank, and I couldn't see. So I went and bought goldfish and threw them in there. And then all of a sudden I was just seeing like parts of goldfish floating around in the tank. I'm like, what the heck is going on, man? Like, are they getting caught in a pump or something? But nope, there was catfish still. I guess that's why he got so big.
Yeah. No, Pepper Putz, you shouldn't be dumping the vacuum cleaner container into the plants. No. Mm-mm. Yeah, putz. Tilapia Star says, I have a few tanks.
I bet you do, Dave.
I think it'd be interesting to raise tilapia on an industrial scale.
I'd like
to
do
a lot of work for the filters.
I'd like to do it, but I dread that electric bill trying to keep that tank warm enough, because you got to keep them like, what, 70 degrees, something like that. And, like I said, right now it's 38 degrees and it's going down to 30 in, I think, tomorrow or the day after. I mean, well, technically, I don't think it's going to actually heat the tank to 70, but it's sure going to try.
Yeah, and just think, if you took the commercial tilapia up to an aquaponics system, man, that could be, yeah.
Uh-oh, we just saw a keyword in the chat.
Yeah, I saw free balling pop up. How are you going to go and call the shots over there, Ivan? How do you know that one of us isn't free balling? Or all of us.
But you piqued Pilo's interest. Can't think of anything but.
That was hilarious. She's like, that's all I think about. Sorry, Pilo, but you said that.
Then all of a sudden, for some reason, every guy in the chat was freeballing. Weird.
Yeah. Interesting, yeah.
See, the trick is to train the aphids to take down the rival plant shops.
I'm
man.
not gonna train aphids like on my days off. Like, ow!
Oh, you said you didn't have any aphids on your indoor plants?
I've never had aphids, and I barely have any outside either.
I can call up JT. He can swing some by.
No thanks.
Yeah, that should be. Yeah, he could probably deliver them free of charge.
Dude,
Yeah,
one
he
of my
probably could. They'll probably fly here in the summer from there. He's so close, but
one of my
no, we don't
He's
have
a professional aphid
the
rancher.
stink bugs are the worst here. They're the worst. Like whenever I go to pick a pepper off, they're always on it, and they get like this big, or shield bugs, as you guys might know them. But they're just I hate all your peppers are bruised and.
Yeah, they're good for that. Dude, one of my favorite comments of all time was somebody in the PLC posted pictures of aphids. And I'm pretty sure Blumberg, who just left, posted a comment like, "Hey, JT Bear, looks like some of your how did he say? Looks like some of your cattle or some of your livestock got loose on somebody else's ranch." Something like that. Oh my God, it was one of the funniest
But
comments.
we do also have spider mites here. What are those like really, really tiny? Like they are so tiny and they're orange and they just like kind of. Are those aphids or like baby aphids? Like they're so tiny. I mean, they are like they are very, very tiny.
Aphids are white.
But they
No,
put
no.
the lines on the leaves?
I don't know. I never let it get to that point. I just either, because there's only one or two, but then if you look towards the stem, there's like a little bit more, so then that's when I'll just grab my dish soap and water and. But I thought those were spider mites, like the little larvae of the spider mites.
It could be. The ones I was thinking where they put the lines on the leaves, I believe those are leaf miners.
Okay, no, we don't have those up here. Or maybe we do, I've just never seen, I don't know.
Yeah, because we had spider mites at one time, and best way to tell is they leave webs all around the bases of the leaves.
Well, maybe that's not them then. It's really, I have to look this up.
Blumberg, what was your comment on when somebody posted aphids in PLC? You said something about JT's livestock getting loose on somebody else's land or something.
Oh no, I said that I'd like thought about that last year when I'd first taken out some of my plants and I brought them in like not into my grow area, but I just brought them in the back door one night because it was going to be kind of cool. And I went to go move them out the next day, and I noticed there was aphids like all over one of my plants. And I had the thought, I didn't ever go through with it, but I had the thought of posting a post in the PLC and tagging JT Bear and being like, "Hey JT, some of your livestock got loose on my land."
That's what you should have done that, dude. That's one of the funniest comments I've heard in a long time.
Yeah. I mean, it's really sad though. There's so many species becoming endangered and extinct this day and age that I think it's a wonderful thing what JT's doing, just keeping the pot going. I mean, he really is benefiting society.
He's got his own insect sanctuary. Yeah. It's the circle of
He's got his own strain of aphids.
Yeah.
I don't know how he gets so many though. Like, because I know that you can get them in soil and stuff.
Well, no, he brings in his plants. He's like, "Oh, I'm not going to bring in any plants again." But then, what does he do? Bring in all these plants.
Yeah, because he brought in what, 8 this year? Well, let's just see if we can do it. Like that little melon one. I could imagine that would be a great place for aphids to hang out.
Yeah.
Figure aphids drink the water, the juice that's going through the leaves, and that's how it kills them off. If you got a high amount of moisture going into one of those little melons, just think how they would love that spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, we at least we haven't seen any whiteflies this year that I know of.
I haven't had any fungus gnats inside at all, which has been pretty awesome.
I've
Last
had a
year,
few.
somehow, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it came from in the soil, which the Jiffy Mix, that's one of the things I like about it is it's a dry mix when you get it. It's like bone dry, just like powder. So there's not much that can survive in that. Although I have heard that some of those things, the eggs can stay kind of dormant even when dry, and then as soon as there's moisture, they come back to life. I saw maybe 3 fungus gnats all winter so far by my grow area, which is really cool. And I just killed the ones that I saw, like squashed them with my hands.
Yeah.
But last year I had a lot of them, and they were driving me nuts. And they once you get like a handful, then the problem spreads because they start laying eggs in all the soil. And if you take a flashlight, and if you have poor eyesight as far as up close, use like a magnifying glass, but dig around in that top layer of dirt, and you'll see the little larvae crawling around in there and stuff. It's gross. I had a really bad problem with like my second wave of seeds that I germinated last year. A lot of the seed leaves were getting like half eaten off by the larvae before they would actually like poke up and sprout out of the ground. And then some of them that would sprout up, I think the larva was eating the taproot, and they would end up being really weak and just dying. So
And with the fungus gnats, if you don't top water, a lot of the times you don't have that problem. Like,
well, that's what everybody told me, and then I was bottom watering everything, and it seemed like the problem got worse somehow, which I know it was unrelated to that, but I was like, I went back to top.
I had fungus gnats even when I bottom watered. I don't think it. But mind you, I haven't actually bottom watered for so long that I haven't even lifted the cups out. So who knows what's under there?
At least fungus gnats are easy enough to get rid of. It's just one part hydrogen peroxide to 9 parts water. Just water the plant. The hydrogen peroxide takes and fries right through the soft membranes on the outside of them. That's how we got rid of them.
Okay. I'll have to remember that because I could have used that tip last year. I had a bad problem with them.
Yeah, and doesn't hydrogen peroxide, doesn't that just break down into hydrogen and 2 parts oxygen?
Yep.
Yeah.
It actually feeds the roots to add hydrogen peroxide to it. You could take it and use it in hydroponics as well, small amounts, but it evaporates too quick.
Yeah, good to know.
But yeah, you take the spray, this hydrogen peroxide mix, and spray the leaves with it too. And that'll get rid of any of the bugs that are on the leaves. You gonna be all right, Susie?
Sorry, yeah, no, I just getting a lot of pains.
Getting old.
Careful.
She's the youngest one here, isn't she? Her and Rob are competing.
Yep. Pepper Pot says, whenever I see the first aphids, I generally have to mentally prepare for the aphid bomb, or bomb to go off. They definitely explode everywhere almost instantly if unchecked. Yeah. Devin definitely stays on top of all the plants and maintains them extremely well.
Luckily, the only aphids I've ever got were outside in the greenhouse. So I just hopped on the Amazon and said, send me 5,000 ladybugs. Or I think one time I did 10,000. I did 5,000 and 5,000. So for each garden, I just opened up one container. And actually, the only periscope I've ever done, I don't even know, is periscope still a thing? But the only periscope I've ever done was me releasing ladybugs into the garden.
Never even heard of it.
It's like attached to Twitter. It's kind of like a live streaming thing attached to Twitter.
But did you notice last year you had the hornets and the or the wasps in the greenhouse, and didn't kill them off and didn't kill them off, but you had no aphids either, did you?
Nah. Oh no, they've been there every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for the 1 year where I got stung right on the top of the head. And when that happened, I went out in the middle of the night and knocked their nest down. Retaliation. We got along great until that point. I don't know what happened. They didn't like it when I was slamming the door.
I'm going to try predator mites this year if I get broad mites or any other mites.
And if you get white flies, get Incarcia formosa. Although I will say I got that and never had good luck hatching them. They come on like little cards that you can hang on your plant branches, and the eggs are like on a little piece of tape. And then whenever the eggs open up and they, come out of the egg, they're supposed to just go around and, do their thing. I never saw any of them actually, do anything. So I just had little like tags on my plants for a while.
Cannabis growers use those.
Yeah, he said predator mites this year if I get broad mites or other mites. Huh. That's like what? I've never even heard of those.
I've heard of them, but I don't know exactly which ones are predator mites and which ones are just mites.
Yeah, I guess, like, how would you even know, like, which ones are good and which ones are bad?
The Google machine.
Oh, yes. Google or Alexa.
I laid them in the dirt with better luck, Reb. Okay. You can get them on Amazon, I believe.
You get them on Amazon, really?
And, well, except for Amazon CA.
It's Canada.
Yeah, you can get anything on regular Amazon.com. I found a lock set. I just bought a lock picking set.
Oh, they look like wood ticks. Oh, God.
Well, one thing nice about our shop is there's like a cool room off the back of it. And up in the ceiling where the overhang comes down, there's a wasp nest up there. Under the windows, there's another one.
Ooh.
So there's two separate colonies of wasps back there.
Oh.
So if I have plants on it and they get brought out, or have plants on it, if I have aphids on plants and they get brought out, the wasps find them really quick. And they
the wasps are good around.
Oh, I hate wasps.
They pick off the caterpillars and stuff too. Like anything that they can grab and eat, they'll get. I saw a couple of them last year munching on not hornworms, but other types of caterpillars that they had pulled off my plants.
Maybe that's why we don't have as many like bugs here, because there's so many wasps here. Like we've had like 3 nests in our backyard like at least every summer.
Well, it's probably a combination of that and the fact that nothing can fucking live under 10
And
feet.
the cold. Yeah, that's true, definitely. But that's positive for sure. But
I don't know about you, but I've seen my grass all winter long. It hadn't been growing very much, but it's been there.
you don't know about me. No, you do know. There's like multiple feet of snow outside, and it's snowing. Actually, as we speak, there was a blizzard today again, and it's still snowing. So that's great. We're gonna be actually here, just to get completely off topic. We're gonna have one of the worst floodings this summer, so that's gonna be good. That'll be really good, especially for the plants.
Yeah, they're saying the same thing here because it's been so abnormally cold, but the frost line has gotten down further. So it's going to take longer to thaw it out, and all that water's got to have somewhere to go. Normally, our frost line here is at 4 feet, and this year it's a little over 5 feet down right now.
Oh, geez, wow.
So
That's...
5 feet into the ground is frozen?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, normally
That's
goes down
probably similar to here.
Yeah, you're probably
I think the most
5.5
I've ever seen here, not that I just go digging holes to figure out, but I do actually sometimes, because in the wintertime, is some of the best time of the year to get out in the woods and do metal detecting.
It's 6 feet
And,
here. I looked it up. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but in Winnipeg, it goes up to 8 feet here.
Yeah, so you're gonna have worse flooding than us.
But yeah, in the wintertime, it's tough getting out metal detecting sometimes when it's real cold because the top layer of dirt will be frozen. But I've never seen it frozen more than like 4 or 6 inches.
Well, that's why it's so difficult.
Worth metal detecting because you have to like chisel through the ground.
That's why it's so difficult here to like turn your soil and like till it, like because it's all frozen. Like even the soil is frozen. And then as soon as you get down to the point where you are like, hey, I want to actually dig this up, it's all frozen. Like this year, I really want to try to get all that clay dug up underneath the soil. Like the clay is only about a foot or a foot and a half just below the soil. So I really wanted to just like kind of get some of that out of there and fill it with like better fresh soil and some manure and compost and stuff. But I don't even think we can do that because it just is so frozen. But,
yeah, you should see them trying to dig like a grave or something here. They have to put a tent up, and then they put charcoal burners down on the grass to heat it for an hour or two so they can get a couple inches of dirt off. Go in, scrape it, put the heat back on it, and have to keep going down like that. One of my cousins is a grave digger, and yeah, he's saying it's it's about 5 feet down right now with the frost line.
Jeez, oh man! Like we have a 3-inch frost line, and I don't even gone like this year.
We were just saying how Rob Z's is over 5 feet now, and here in Winnipeg, it's the rule of thumb they say is 6 feet, but they say it's pretty much closer to 8 feet.
Jeez, that's gotta suck if you're working for the water department putting in water lines.
Well, it doesn't thaw until like June. All of it, I mean.
Yeah, when we put a new water line in here because there's so many trees that the roots keep breaking the water line. And when we did that, we only had to go down 3 inches, but we went nuts and did 12.
So, Rob Z, like Rob Schaller commented, I'm curious, like how thick is the ice there, like on lakes? If your frost line is 5 foot in the dirt, like what are the lakes like?
I honestly don't know. I haven't been on a lake this year.
I could tell you.
Well, then tell me.
Oh, sorry. Our ice level here is about 2.5, 3 feet.
Wow.
Jeez, oh man, that's like the size of a toddler.
The auger, when you're putting the auger down, you need an auger that's like at least like this big, and even then you're going like straight through, like the top of the auger is like hitting the ice.
I didn't mean a toddler. What the heck's the next stage up?
An infant?
No, not a toddler.
Amateur?
Okay, we'll just say a preteen. Before a preteen, but
sorry, were you done?
Yeah, in all honesty,
there was several feet of ice, I'd be all good.
Yeah, in all honesty, it has been way too cold for me to even think about going out on the ice this year.
Well, and it just sucks, like, because you have to continually take ice out, like, it's continually freezing. And I'm not talking about, like, once every 20, I'm talking about once every 5 minutes. You have to keep, like, breaking the ice, taking it out. I mean, you got the river here, and even in, like, there's a place called Lockport, which is, I guess, just, like, kind of northeast of Winnipeg. And that's where everybody does their ice fishing. And it's the entire river is just people's like trucks and campers. And so, I mean, it's obviously like you can handle this, like, there's probably about 200 RVs on the ice, and they just stay there all winter.
I've never been ice fishing.
Oh gosh, ice fishing is awesome. I love it.
My neighbors across the alley have a trailer, and it's like 6 foot wide by maybe 15 foot long and 6.5 feet tall. And they tow it out onto the ice, and then it's got a lift system for the wheels, so they can actually drop the entire thing right down on the ice. Fully insulated metal walls, windows, fireplace inside, all the comforts.
And you just like fish there inside, like there's seats all around, and you can actually like dig a hole right while you're in the.
Yeah, and it's got a generator on it, so they run an air pump down the hole, so the air keeps, the bubbles keep the water from freezing. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I've seen in YouTube videos, I've seen some of those trailers before that are like that have the holes inside of them where and they've got like beds in there, and every hole's like right next to the bed, so you can literally like lay in bed in your little like trailer and just sit there like jigging and catch fish. It's pretty cool. And I watched one video, some girl, I can't remember who it was, what YouTuber, but somebody, and there was actually like a bar out there on the ice, and it was a trailer, like a larger trailer that they had like a little bar set up in there and everything, and all the people were like driving to this bar and like hanging out and like getting drinks, and they had a couple holes in there where you could like fish while you're inside the bar.
See you tomorrow, Devin.
Later, Devin.
Thanks for joining us.
See, I'm all about that, man. Like, ice fishing just sounds like camping combined with fishing.
Yeah, I mean, even on like a more simple scale,
oh my god, I'll be right back.
They have the nice like insulated pop-up tents and stuff that you can pop up one of those, zip it all up so there's no wind getting to you, and put one of the little portable heaters in there. A lot of people I've seen, they carry like these like little floor tile things that are the ones that like go together like puzzle pieces, and they'll like lay out like a floor in there and like set up their chairs on there, so they've got all their stuff, and then like have their little fish finder set up in one hole that like shows you like the sonar, and then they'll have like a couple holes open where they've got maybe one like with a minnow set up underneath a float, and the other one they'll just be sitting there jigging. I think that's awesome. I would be so into that.
You see what Rob said? You can also jig on the toilet.
Yeah, well, theirs has a trailer built into it, drop-down walls, and it's got a stove in it plus a fireplace, and it's
awesome.
basically a mobile home.
You like catch fish and like cook them and eat them right there while you're still catching fish.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not really into fish, but whatever. That'd be fun.
Well, Alberta Pepper did a.
Well, it depends on the fish.
Alberta Pepper did a video of one of those 10 things like Rob was talking about in ice fishing last year.
Yeah.
One of the little pop-up tents.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I
you put a little portable heater in there and stuff, and you're all good to go.
Yep.
I always thought it was like weird where they had the little tent, because I've seen those forever. Because I've always been into like hunting and fishing and all that other stuff. But I always thought it was weird where you had like a tent set up and like you were inside the tent, but you had a heater going, but you were on ice. So I always thought like, wouldn't it melt the ice? But I mean, it's so thick that apparently not.
On top of that, heat rises.
Yeah.
On top of that, you have an insulated floor, so you're not sitting directly on ice. There's always something in the floor that's protecting you between the snow and you, and it acts as an insulator. It'll melt a little bit, but not enough. Like you say, it's too cold.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of the guys I see have the little like they're like 2 foot by 2 foot square like little tiles that like are like the little floor pad things, and they fit together like they've got like little puzzle piece looking edges where they just all snap together, and they'll like cover up like the whole area they're sitting on and stuff with that. and then they'll have like the open ice in front of them with their holes drilled and stuff, and have the heater sitting back behind that, like pointed at them and stuff. I mean, it's pretty neat, like the setups that people make with the little ice shacks.
Oh yeah.
Neatest one I ever saw was a trailer, okay, and it had a wedge-shaped body on it, and he would take it and tow it up onto the ice, jack it up, pull the wheels off, and it had skis. In the front was another ski for turning, and on the back of it he had a prop. So he had an airboat, air sled, whatever you want to call it, ice house that he could take and drive around on the ice under wind power. And that didn't drop down or anything, but it was insulated and everything inside. He could take and drill his hole, pull the cart over the top of it, and drop his line down through the floor of it and sit in there and ice fish.
The people that do that, where they have a trailer that doesn't drop down the whole way, the way that they do that to where they can still land fish is they have like a little tube thing that's like a little insert that from the hole in the floor connects down to the hole in the ice. So you can still slide the fish up all the way, and that way there isn't like, a gap between the ice and the trailer. They've got like a tube that goes down to connect with the ice, so that way you can like slide the fish out of it.
Yeah, his was like 3 feet off the snow though, for the stands for the skis and stuff. And they clear the prop. It had like a 6-foot prop on it.
Did he have a tube set up like I was talking about to connect?
I never saw it in action. I just saw him going down the river with it.
Yeah, I would imagine they must have had to, because otherwise you'd be having to just lift those fish up through that gap, and I could see that being an issue if you had a big fish.
Yeah, I could see that. But just one of those weird ice house things.
I love how, like, right now the people in Florida are going, what? What? Ice what?
You guys go out on the ice and go fishing?
Actually, I could say that because we don't get ice here. We had like some ice on the swamps, but that was just because one night it got cold enough that we actually got a little bit of ice.
Yeah, the Minnesota River flows through here, and in the little, areas where you got little bays and that kind of stuff, it freezes over. But in the main open areas, it's still, or in the main areas where it's flowing, it's still open. But come this spring, that ice is going to come and crash into the bridge again. If we don't have a slow enough warm up. Because they're talking major flooding again for the Minnesota River Valley again this year.
I'll tell you what, man, if it was actually, if it was tonight's temperature or tomorrow's temperature with last night's weather, it was like 58 last night. But we had like a freaking monsoon that came through. Like I walked across the parking lot and it's not a long walk, and I was absolutely completely drenched. But if we would have had snow, like if that would have turned to snow instead, we probably would have had a couple feet, well, at least a foot, maybe a couple feet of snow. I mean, the parking lot, which doesn't flood, had like, 2 inches of water in it.
Oh, here they're talking in the 30s on, I believe it's Saturday, with like a 70% chance of rain. So if we get any kind of rain, it's going to knock the snow down, which will be nice, and it'll flow off. But then once the rain stops and it turns to ice again, it's going to be a royal pain in the backside again.
All the rain that we had recently, if it had been snow, we would have gotten destroyed. I mean, we had the river got 20 feet higher than average 2 times in 1 week.
Ouch.
And the average is 3.5 feet. So 20 feet higher than average is a significant amount of water.
That is gigantic. 20 feet.
Yeah,
Like
20 feet more than the average 3.5 feet. It got to like 23.5 feet twice.
Yeah, you're like 6 foot something. So that's like over 3 of you tall.
Yeah.
That's like 3 of you and a toddler. All
Or a
factors.
little person.
Oh, yeah. You talking about my sister?
I was talking about Susie.
Yeah, it would be almost 4 of me.
Actually, no. We thought Susie was like 5'3", but we found out that Susie's not. She's actually 5'5", 165 centimeters.
I don't buy that.
Or actually, I'm sorry. No, it's 5'5.5".
No, it's 5.48 feet.
Alexa, what is 165 centimeters in feet?
165 centimeters is 5.4 feet.
Alexa, what is
5.4
feet in feet?
5.
in inches.
5.4 feet.
Yeah, in inches. No, what is 5.4 feet in feet?
What is 0.4? No. What is 0.4 feet in inches?
No.
Yeah. Alexa, what is 0.4 feet in inches?
0.4 feet is 4.8 inches.
There you go. 5'4'8". Almost 5'5".
Not quite there though.
So Susie's 4'8".
No, I'm 5.48.
No, 5 feet, 5.8 or 4.8.
Yeah,
No,
5.
she's 4'8".
I am not. Ugh. I don't know like how to show you guys. I'm not short. That short.
Touch the ceiling.
That's a tall order. There's a fan in the way.
Excuses.
Touch
the fan.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Here's an easy way to tell. If Canadian building standards are the same as it is in the United States, the doorway over or the header over your doorway is going to be 6.8 feet. You go stand in front of that doorway and we'll see the number of inches, and we can do it proportionally from that 6'8" down to you. And we will be able to see visually how tall you actually are.
So you want me to go stand in my doorway?
Yeah, go put your back
next to the door.
Put your back against the door.
Oh my god, I feel so short now.
You are very short.
I can touch it.
My head clears that doorway by 3 inches.
Okay.
Look, I've got a doorway.
That's a short door. That's a smaller door.
See, this is me next to my doorway. Like,
yeah, see, he's got only about 5 inches.
Yeah, but you're tall.
No, you're short.
I wish I could show my door because I would look just a little bit taller than Susie. Even though I'm like 5 taller.
I'm like 6'4" or something. I don't know. I haven't measured myself. I've been saying 6'4" since like I was like 18.
I think I'm like 5'11". I'm not 6 foot, no way. But I think I'm my dad's 5'8". I'm taller than him. And last time I got checked, I was 5'10". But well, maybe I'm shrinking. I don't know.
My license says I'm 6'3", but I don't know when that would have been.
I don't even know what my license says. Alexa, what does my license say?
My license is 100.
My license is a 2012 animation movie.
Okay, Alexa, turn off.
But like I said, when you go to get your license, you just put on a piece of paper how tall you are. So that isn't how tall you really are. They don't measure you. and they
But
don't
they
weigh you.
do that here, though. Like, they 100%. We had this talk like a little while
What
ago. Like,
does
they.
your license say?
What?
What does your license say then?
It just has 165 centimeters.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Okay.
I have seen it.
So I don't know if. I would never just be like, oh, I'm 165 centimeters. I have no idea what I am in centimeters. Well, I know I'm 165, but they have to measure that. Definitely.
Yeah, like Rob was saying, in America, they're just like, here's your application. Put down, like, what is your eye color? Like, I actually asked the guy, I'm like, what is my eye color? I have no freaking clue what color my eyes are. And he's like, oh, they're green. And then it wasn't until like a few years after I got my first license that I realized my eyes change color. So it. But actually, I was talking to a girl yesterday. Her sister, her eyes change color too. And like mine change with my mood, but I don't know if mine change with like an outfit, because that's what she was saying. Her sisters will change if like she wears a different outfit, like her eyes will like not.
But that makes sense though, because you have like complementary colors and you don't have and a lot of people's eyes do change. Like that's not like a rare thing, like no offense, but that's pretty common.
Yeah, my eyes definitely they go. I mean, they're usually always blue, but they can get more green and they can get kind of brownish at times. It just depends.
Mine go blue, green, hazel.
Yeah, see, that's like, I think that's like the most common, like if your eyes were to change, that would be like the most common combination that you can have. Jesus Christ. Scared the crap out of me. Combination that you can have.
You sounded like me at work the other day. I walked into the pump room at our indoor pool, and there's so many pumps. It's so loud. And the door was locked. So I unlocked it. I walked in, and I swear there was nobody in there. I looked through the whole pump room like there's nobody there. And I'm going through like check-in, like this pump's on, this pump's on, this pump's on. Nothing's like got errors or anything like that. I'm checking filter pressures. And I walk all the way to the very back, and right there at the back, the last things I had to look at was one of the ladies that I work with. And like, I just turned around and was like, oh my God, man. Like, I just freaked out. Yeah, you totally rocked Rob's world there.
I want to show you a quick picture here. And let me explain this. This is a picture of one of the bridges in my town. You can see on the post that dark spots at the bottom. That's where our water level normally gets when we're not flooding during the spring. And that's at 9 feet. They're talking over like 14 feet this year, which means it's going to go over the top of that bridge. That bridge, wow. If the flooding happens like they're talking about, that bridge is going to be underwater.
Mm.
And that's the bridge that the ice, when the water level starts coming up, the ice breaks up. It gets caught on the pillars under that bridge right there. But you can see the dark spots where normal flooding is. And my truck is up on a hill compared to where that bridge is. That the dark spots are taller than my truck is. And my truck stands at 6'8.5" inches, or 6'7.5" inches.
Wait, Rob said saw a post from Subs and Subs asking for prayers. What that?
What's that about?
I don't know. I was
for the what?
I know, but I'm not gonna say anything. But I mean, they're just issues right now, and hopefully everything goes well for them. They're awesome people.
All right, well, just make sure you guys keep them in your thoughts then. I mean, for those of you who pray, whatever, just
send them well wishes. Do whatever you do.
Or maybe don't like talk to them. Like maybe they probably don't want to talk about it.
No, but just definitely keep them in the thoughts. And
prayers. Keep them in your thoughts. I think that's like the best way to do it.
Fine, as far as I know. Just I don't know. They're going through some stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
Anyways, that is crazy though, Rob. Like, Robsy, on your that's gonna be over that bridge by the time everything thaws.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty.
that bridge goes underwater every few years from the flooding, and with the snow that we had, just in February alone, is going to be enough to put it under.
Well, that's like mostly why our roads are so horrible, because everything floods like in the spring. This year is supposed to be particularly bad just because we have so much snow, and it doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon. And yeah, they just crack and everything because it just goes from extremes. Like, you're so cold and then you're so hot. There is no in between here.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they take the snow from the parking lots and that kind of stuff here, the fresh snow, and they go and dump it in a man-made lake in town. So they're slowly filling the lake up with fresh snow.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This year they should probably do.
Here's a picture of the river when the water got up recently. Here, it came up another about 2.5 feet higher than that. That's getting up pretty close to that bridge, but that bridge has like those pillars are literally like 30-foot pillars. And
Oh my!
yeah, it like actually you can see like that wall right there. That wall right about 3 feet in front of that wall is about a like 15, 17-foot tall cliff. Little cliff rock face that goes straight down, and it was up way over that. It was up real high. Another spot. This bridge sits up higher, but the part of the road doesn't. And there was actually a car that got here. Let me zoom in on it where you can see. There was a car that tried to go through and didn't make it on the road.
Yeah.
We get stuff like that all the time. Well, at least up north. Well, now the roads flood here everywhere, but that's just usually like hurricanes or just torrential downpours and stuff like that. Actually, one of the companies I was working for, they wanted me to go check on houses, and I'm like, the road's flooded. Like, I probably shouldn't drive down there. I had my truck. It was a '06 Chevy 1500 two-wheel drive, so it sits a little lower. But I had that thing up to the handles in water. Like, as I was going, there was a wake going beside me, and as I drove by a S10 Blazer, I saw it. I thought it was just like up on a little hill or something because it looked like it was cocked. But as I drove by, it just started bobbing and like spinning around, like did 180 degrees.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, once I made it through there once, I'm like, I had the windows down at the time, but I knew like you can't let off on the gas. You got to keep going. And it was a cheap vehicle, so you had crank windshield or windows. And I was like, well, I can put up the driver, but I can't do anything about the passenger. It's just going to start passenger.
That happened to my Echo too. I think I remember telling you guys about the like the massive flood we had here, and I was on my way to work, and it was like
over the hood.
It was over the hood, but what I didn't mention was that someone had busted in to my car like just the night before, and they had like broken just the driver's side window. So I didn't have a window here. So I'm like, as soon as I got out of the flood, and I'm going to work, like everybody is like whizzing by me, and just water is like, and I'm trying to drive, but my whole car was like full of water too. It was really bad, but that thing still kept on chugging. Even though I was drenched by the time I got to work. We have showers there, thank God. So I'm like, I'm going to take a shower because I'm soaked and I'm freezing.
We had, I think it was Hurricane Isabel, I think. I don't know. It was like '06 or something like that, maybe '04. I don't know. But it came through and the whole bypass flooded. Well, my rule of thumb is when a hurricane's coming, you grab a whole pile of beer and you just hang out and party. Well, my buddy, he decided to go to his buddy's house, drove down there, but on the way back, the roads flooded. He was in a minivan. And all these guys with big jacked up trucks, because around here, you're only allowed to lift your truck 6 inches unless it sees off-road use. Well, if you go up north, the road ends and you get to drive on the beach. So there's your excuse right there. You can jack it up as tall as you want. I mean, there's people with like 24-inch lifts and all kind of stuff. Well, they were having fun in the flooded bypass, just flooring it. They threw a wave so big that it came down on my buddy's minivan and just killed the vehicle in the middle of the night, right after the power went out. So there was like no lights, no nothing. He had to get people to get out in this, it's like up to like his waist and like push his car into 7-Eleven's parking lot where he had to sleep for the rest of the night. Because I was like, dude, I lived like right down the street from 7-Eleven. I was like, dude, you could have came and like got to my house. He's like, I got out of my car and I started walking. I didn't have a flashlight. I only made it like so far and I had to turn around and go back because I didn't think I was going to make it anywhere, because that's what he was thinking, like coming to my place.
Well, did you ever see the one where the guy was driving under an underpass and on top there they were plowing snow, and just as he was driving under it, the plows were like plowing and then all the snow was coming down like onto the road below, and his dash cam like caught it and like the whole windshield just like shattered, and you just hear him like swearing and like he pulls over. He can't even, he's got just windshield all over him. That poor guy.
That's
that would happen here, I think. They just don't care. Oh, crap.
Dog likes to lick herself. Glad that's not
nice.
on camera too good.
Oh, that's positive then.
Yeah.
Well, all I can say is I can't wait for the snow to start melting.
Oh.
I am so done with snow this year.
I am too, and I didn't even get any.
Well, you've been living vicariously through me, though, and my, like, snow rants.
All of you guys. Everybody talks about snow and sends pictures, and I see them on YouTube videos, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm not, like, doing that.
Yeah.
Just the month of February, we had over 50 inches of snow.
Gosh, I don't even want to know how much we've had.
JDS is going to do a live tattoo soon.
Sweet. Make sure you let us know what day. That way we can let everybody know.
Yeah, post a link on YouTube ahead of time so people will see it.
Yeah, I would watch it. What kind of tattoo, though?
Doesn't matter. I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Just don't put music in your live stream.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, you could get a copyright strike. And you get 3 of them, and they take away your channel.
I don't know about that because I know somebody that plays music in every live stream, and he has to have had a lot more than 3 strikes by now, and he still has his.
That's when they catch you. You can also play that game too and see if they're actually going to catch you. But for some, what is it, Rob? You're allowed to get away with like 10 seconds or up to 20 seconds or something of a song?
I think it's 10 seconds.
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, skull. You should do the skull because, well, no, don't do the skull because I want to eventually get that.
So just set up a playlist to where it'll play like
oh my God, ow.
10 seconds of a song, and then skip to another song, and then skip back to another song.
Sorry, hold on, guys.
That would be great. 10 seconds, another 10 seconds, another 10 seconds. And then go back to the first song, but play the second 10 seconds.
Exactly. That was what my mindset was on that one.
That would be funny stuff.
It would be annoying to listen to.
Yeah, and that's why I never have any kind of music in any of my anything. I don't even want the hassle. I don't even put that non-copyright music in any of my videos. I don't do anything. I don't do anything unless I own 100% of it. I mean, the live streams are a little different, but as far as like in my own videos, like that's why they're boring. They don't have any kind of goofy music in the background, even though YouTube provides you with music. And yes, Pilo, he will be doing it himself.
Yeah, he had another video up where he was doing one on his leg.
Yeah, I watched that one.
Yep, so did I.
Can't remember.
As a general rule, you're not supposed to tattoo yourself, but I don't see an issue with it.
Rob, that picture that I showed you of where the water was up real high, and I was saying that there's like a cliff right there that's like a good like 15, 17 feet up, and the pillars are normally real tall. Well, the water's probably up maybe 2 feet in this picture. I'm gonna have to hold it close so it'll focus. But see, the water's up probably 2 feet in that picture. But look at how tall that is, and you can see along the edge. I was standing along the edge of that little like rock outcropping. I was standing under the bridge.
Okay.
Picture that I just showed you, the water was probably up to my head where I was standing when I took that picture. So that's just a view of what it looks like when it's up, or when it's down versus when it's up.
Hila said she just bought a tattoo kit. I was trying to get Susie to get a tattoo kit.
Yeah, and then well, no offense, but I read the reviews. Which one did you buy, Pilo?
Well, yeah, there's a whole pile of tattoo kits we were looking at.
Piles, yeah. Well, the Canadian, the ones that you can get on Amazon Canada are like the worst.
Anything you can get on Amazon Canada is the worst, from what I've heard.
Yeah,
I would never
really,
Amazon Canada.
You're right. Like it is like that. Like it's just so bad.
I know. I never believed JT. He kept saying, like, you can't get it. You can't get it. I'm like, it's Amazon. And finally one day I was like, okay, fine. Amazon.ca. And I went there and I'm like, Googling master.
I know, because I told you to go to Amazon.ca. And I'm like, yeah, well, if you don't believe me, go look for it. And you're like, yeah, nope, it's not there.
No,
that was Master Blend.
This was like a few years before that. I like was looking for JT because I was going to just send him a link to it. And I started looking. I'm like, man, I can't find anything on here. Like nothing. And then you find certain things, and then, but I mean, it's hit or miss.
And it's so expensive. It's like, yeah.
I can't believe it. It's so crazy to me because it's still Amazon. You know, like you would think they would be like, oh, it's our Canadian friends up there. Let's just go ahead and maybe have half of what we have.
We're not friends.
But you'd think they would be like, let's have like, okay, only half of what we have on Amazon.com up on Amazon.ca. But it's not. It's like a 12th or like a 20th or something. Like it's crazy. Just if you want to amuse yourself, go to Amazon.ca and just search for anything you want.
And you won't find it. Yeah.
It's the crazy stuff. I just started picking random things. And I'm like, I can't find this. Why can't I find it? Like
it's so frustrating because you keep trying to like reword it like differently, and like the exact same things like show up, and you're like, okay, I guess. And you get to the point where you've done like 4 searches with all different, and it's like, no, okay, I guess it's just not on there.
Yeah, I mean, it's something so crazy where you're like, and I didn't do a search for this, but I'm just making this up. But it's something like, let's look for a drone, and you'll find like, I have a drone T-shirt, and you're like, no, look for a drone. You just like keep looking. You're like, what the heck, man? I can find a pen.
Well, I just looked up predator mites. Like whoever said that in the chat, and it was like the first like item was a little thing of predatory mites. I'm sure that's the right thing, but the rest were like T-Rex bed sheets, and I'm like, what?
Oh, predator.
That's totally what I meant. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm glad you threw that in there because that's actually what I was searching for. But for some reason, I threw mites in there.
I actually meant predatory sheets. Yeah. And not the creepy kind. not the, yeah, no, I won't even go there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, goodness. Oh, it's hard for me to laugh right now. Oh. All right, well.
Pilo's got artist block right now. Just start Googling pictures.
That's what happens to me when I draw. I'm like, I have like a whole slat, and then I'm like, oh, what do our slate, I guess? I'm like, what do I even draw? I don't even know.
I can't draw.
And then I just stop. And then I'm like, screw it. I'm just gonna play some video games.
Yeah, I can't draw anything. I can draw shapes. That's the only, like, I can draw like the 3D squares and, you know, any kind of shape type thing. As far as like, draw me a dragon or draw me like a face or anything like that, or like a lizard. Nope. It might kind of look like a lizard, but you definitely don't want that thing tattooed on you. This tattoo that I got right there, the angry sun. I don't know.
Wasn't that the one where you did a drawing and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna make it better?
Yeah, I took in a drawing. It kind of looked like remember the what was it, Super Mario something, where it had the angry sun that came down. It just had like a bunch of spikes all around. Like,
isn't that Teletubbies?
What?
I thought that was oh no, that's a baby in the sun. Okay, yeah, no, sorry, keep. I thought that was Teletubbies with an A, but that wouldn't make sense, I guess, for a kid's show. Okay, sorry, go on.
But no, it was just like it was like a circle with like just spikes the whole way around it, and it had like kind of an angry face on it, and that's what I took in. And the guy was like, "Yeah, I can go ahead and fix that for you if you want." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead. Like, drop whatever you want." And he drew like I think 4 different pictures, and that was one of them. And I was like, "Yeah, that one." And actually. No, that's wrong. No, actually, right here was the alien that I've got. Was supposed to be right here. And last minute, I was like, no, I want it right here. And I'm so glad I did that because I always do this trick where I'm just like, hey, you want to see my alien? And I like start messing around like this. And
Peppa Dog has just been sitting there so official looking, except not right now, but before. Like,
now she's
sitting there, like, frozen like a statue.
Doing stop.
Yeah, JDS, which dude does like awesome drawings?
Yeah, you talking about Beady Beats?
Well, I think he would know his name if it was BD. Never tried to draw Pepper.
Yeah, have you ever tried, Susie?
Yeah, no, I can't remember the dude's name that's been posting those Pepper sketches in the PLC. It's been on Google Plus. Yeah, he's awesome Pepper sketches. Like kind of like the peppers look really nice, and there's really awesome shading and stuff. But then he'll do like stick figure arms and legs on them. But like he's made some pretty funny ones. And I would have to go and look in the PLC to try to find one of those. But there's been some pretty cool ones that he's done recently.
Have you tried any peppers, Susie?
No, I haven't drawn any peppers, no, but I think I might try that. Huh.
Do it. Susie's very good at drawing. I made her draw me. The heck did you draw me? One night? You said you were good at drawing? I'm like, oh yeah, draw me something.
I showed you my freaking sketchbook.
Well, no, I saw that too, but you drew me something one night. Well,
Susie, show something that you've drawn if you have anything on hand. I've always kind of been in drawing.
I actually have like my grade 9 sketchbook here. This is actually from when I was showing it to Rev.
My mom got a master's degree in art. She was
there's one little drawing. That's a nice one.
Wow.
But I have, but this is my sketchbook from grade 9. Jesus, I don't even know what age I was. Hold on.
ADS wants you to draw.
I've already drawn out like all the tattoos that I'm getting. I've got them all, not in this one, but in my other sketchbook. Oh, there's
Morgan W. That's the person that's been
there's
posting
half
this.
of like a magazine picture and kind of a face. I don't know if you can see it. Draw me like one of your French girls. Oh, this is my Nana. Oh my gosh, this is a picture that I drew of my Nana when she was younger.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I know. I was like, "Don't you want it?" And she's like, "No, you keep it, Susan. Like, it'll be good for your blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Whatever, then fuck you." No, I'm just kidding. And then this is one that I did when I was out in BC. I just drew that looking out onto the water when I was camping. Yeah, that's a nice one. I like that one. Yeah, thank you. Anyways, that's enough of that. My other one's like a lot better.
Yeah, here's an example of one of those Pepper sketches that guy he just recently posted. But the faces and stuff that he puts on them are pretty cool. But it's just got like
That is
stick figure
perfect.
legs and feet. Like he's been doing a bunch of them.
He's got mittens. Look at his little mittens on his hands.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
Yeah, I wanted to get a pepper tattoo, but the more I thought about it, and now, right, I can't.
I would probably get a little one like behind my ear or something, so like you didn't really you couldn't really see it. But then if you had it, like I usually have my hair pulled back, and it's like, oh, what's the pepper for? Oh, because I'm a pepper lover. No, no.
What? I like Johnny Scoville.
I got a peppers tattoo, yeah.
I like Johnny Scoville's tattoo, where it's the actual chemical name or the chemical.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that too.
I wanted to get that, but then I'm like, man, dang it, Johnny Scoville, you had to go get that. Now I can't. But I guess I could, but just not in the same area. But I wanted something in this area just to like fill in a half sleeve. Well, I already have a bunch of ideas of what to fill in the half sleeve with, but I just have to go and get it. My doggy. Oh my God, Ivan. Rob Z, read Ivan's comment. Or wait for Susie to get back. Later, Steven. Oh my God.
Later, Steven.
That is insane.
It's really hard to not look at the chat right now.
Oh, I'm sure it's really easy to not look at me after Ivan's comment. Yeah, but like I said, Susie's got skills. Really good at it.
Okay, Susie, so we've been waiting back for you to get back so I can read this comment. Ivan says, Susie, you should draw Rev maybe a Titanic pose with just a necklace or, in this case, just a bandana.
At least you said bandana and not banana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well.
Okay, yeah. Here's one of the better ones that Morgan W dude did. He posted. He said he made an Instagram, so I went and I found him on Instagram. Look at how awesome that is. That one is so awesome. It's got like the little stem poking up out of the top of the hat, but the face and everything on it, and the shading and everything is so awesome on those. I mean, they're just simple.
Feel like they're adorable. Like those pictures are adorable.
Yeah, look at this one.
Oh yeah.
There you go, Pilo. There's some inspiration. Do some peppers.
Yep.
Adam
Yeah,
says
here's a. That looks like a ghost pepper, but it's
Yeah.
got like the sickle.
Yeah.
It's a grim ghost pepper.
that's a reaper.
This one's cool.
Yeah, it's probably
Look
a
at that
reaper.
That's a happy pepper right there.
Aww, it's so damn cute.
Good Dave smile too.
Look
Yeah.
at this one. It's got like a skillet with some like flaming stuff and a spatula in the other hand, and look at that face.
Even the sunglasses are like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, here's another like one that he posted on there, and I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. Here's
Looks like a
another
little coquine.
with a flamethrower.
They want you to post the link, Rob.
Oh yeah, I can do that. Well, it's to Instagram. This link is. I looked because I found there is a post in the PLC that he just recently posted. What would I have to do?
California raisin. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, it does have that kind of feel.
Okay, yeah. Here, I'll have to go to
Wonder if
YouTube.
he. Maybe not.
Except I never liked the California raisins, so I'm going to go ahead and say that his drawings are way better than those stupid California.
Well, they're peppers. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm biased.
If it starts out with volume at first, when I click into this, I don't know. It will.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
That's why I went ahead and apologized because this other phone I was not using.
Hey, Coda, you
For
want to meet
Mm.
Chico over here?
There's a link to his Instagram for anybody that has this.
Hey,
What is it? For the love of pepper?
For the love of peppers is his Instagram.
he's so cute.
Adam says I need to finish out my tats for my kids. I have 2 of the 3's 1-year-old footprints. That's cool.
I was going to do that with my dog's footprint.
I'm gonna do that with mine too. But I still got
that link that I posted takes you directly to his profile on Instagram. But his name's Morgan, and on Google Plus it's Morgan W. But it's that's his Instagram. That's for the love of peppers. His name's Morgan. And his tagline is "All for the love of peppers." And all he has on his Instagram right now is just those pepper art things. I just went ahead and followed him because I love seeing those pictures, and it would be cool to have those pop up in my feed. No problem, JDS. Hey, Coda.
Oof. Hey, someone said hi.
Hey,
Now that
Coda.
Rev's gone, don't forget to hit that like button. Or that dislike button if you want.
Yeah, as he says it, it's all activity.
Someone's taking over the live stream right now. You're so goof. You goofy. Yeah. I think he needs his nails clipped. Oh,
Big old lap puppy.
I told you he thinks he's a cat. Hey, he's chewing on his leg now. You can see that. You're
My
You're
dog's
such
been
a...
doing like for like the last hour.
Yeah, you can get down. Go. Oh, there he is. Yep, everything.
Yeah, take the phone with you.
No, and he also took the controller and... Oh, what the hell? You got... Hey! Oh, that's fine. Okay, chew it.
Oh, it was a pleasure as always, guys. Catch you on the next one, Nick, guys. Alrighty, Ivan. See you later.
See you,
Have fun.
Ivan.
Have a good night.
Later, Ivan.
Oh, wait, turn that temperature up. I wonder why it's still cold in here. Man, it's only 68 in here. Man, I've been getting all these heat calls where people are like, the heater's not working. Or the heat isn't working. Not the heater, but the heat isn't working. And I go there, and like almost every single one, they're trying to turn the thermostat to 80 degrees. Like, I don't even understand that. Like, I love it warm, but for
What is
crying
that in
out loud,
Celsius? Like 25? 24?
Alexa, what is 80 degrees Fahrenheit and Celsius? Yeah, like 20.
80 degrees Fahrenheit is 26.7 degrees Celsius.
I was going to say 23, but 26.
Well, it's 25.9 in here right now, but we have ours usually set at like 23, 24, so.
I keep mine low.
Well, we're also freezing outside, though, so it
Yeah. Well,
It's probably 65 in here right now.
Yeah, well, we have heat pumps here. Like, we don't actually have a furnace or anything, like any kind of like real heater. We have heat pumps, and when it gets to, I forget what the exact temperature is, like 45 or might be, I know when it gets close to freezing, it does not work. Like, you're only running on electric heat. I think it's 45. But, and I'm cheap, so I don't want to like jack up the temperature. Kind of like in the summertime, I don't like jack down the AC. I keep that.
You don't jack down it?
No, I don't jack it down. I think 78. Or no, I think I do go down to like 76 in the.
Oh God, I'd die at your house.
Yeah.
You would hate my house, then.
I would literally die. I mean,
what do you keep yours at, Rob?
Well, it depends, but in the summer, I mean, I'll turn off the air conditioning during the day, and it'll warm up, but it gets pretty dang warm inside, and then we'll kick it on at night, and I usually set it at like 68 or 66, and I swear, because it's like blowing cold to like get down to that, it gets like colder than that inside before it ever kicks off.
You got a heat pump?
No. I'm talking about the air conditioning. In the summer,
We keep
I'll set 66, and then in the winter, like our central heat went out. It's like a cracked something. It's basically they said like we're pretty much gonna have to get a whole new unit, but because our unit is heating and AC, and the AC works perfect, we actually just put it last year. It went out and it just needed a new fan, and it's blowing colder than ever and works great. So there's no point in replacing the whole unit, which is going to be like probably 10 grand to get like all that stuff replaced. So instead, we've just got some like little space heaters, kind of like the one that Rob has in the corner over behind him. Just like the little tower space heaters, but they work fine. I've got one in here. I have it turned off right now, and it's like, I mean, you heard the temperature earlier. It's like in the low 20s and dropping. It's probably might be down into the teens here right now. And I don't even have mine on in my room because it's comfortable in here. But I've been setting it at 65, which is the lowest setting on it. And it'll run and then kick off, but it's been staying about 65. Like the thermostat in the hallway even though the heat isn't working, the thermostat still works, and it's been staying like even on the cool side, like 65, 67 inside with just a handful. Like I have one in my room, she has one in my mom's room. There's one in the living room and one in the kitchen. So we just have 4 space heaters running, and it heats the whole house to like 65, 67 on average.
That's got to be a lot more expensive than running the actual heat.
No,
That's like
no, because these are just
that's high amperage.
These are just little space heaters.
Yeah, the space heaters are actually cheaper than gas, especially here.
Yeah, and we have gas heat too. It wasn't electric.
Boogie woogie.
But the
my
space
mom has
heaters
gas, and her stuff way cheap. She has almost everything gas: stove, oven, water heater, dryer, like everything that she can is gas. And her gas bill is like it's like $15 a month or something like that. Or I might be misquoting, but maybe that's the summertime. But I mean, she uses that stuff like crazy, and it's super low. Because we're always comparing bills, and mine is like through the roof because everything's electric here, and it is so freaking expensive.
Yeah, the gas bill here in the winter, I know, would get up like over $100 or $150 or something when our heat like used to run, and I bet that the electric bill does not jump anywhere near that with just the space heaters running. My electric drastically cheaper.
My electric bill every month is over $150, no matter what month I'm talking about. I turn like in the springtime when it's like actually like 70 out, I'll turn off the heat or the AC and I'll just open the windows. My electric bill is still over $150 a month. I mean, it's like 180 at least.
Yeah, I think ours varies between like 150 to 200, depending on the time of year. But I swear the space heaters don't make, like, gas was definitely more expensive. And the cool thing about the space heaters too is that when you have your central heat, yeah, you can like plug up the vents or whatever, or not plug them up, but you know what I mean. Turn the little knob to where it closes the vent to like control what rooms get what. But with the space heaters, you literally can control each room. So if you want one room cooler than the rest, you just not have a space heater on or have it on a lower setting or something, and it works really awesome that way.
Well, what I was going to say earlier was in the summer, we keep our house at between 11 and 12 degrees Celsius with like for the AC. So it gets.
So you keep it like really cold in the summer and really hot in the winter.
We have to. I mean, it's so hot in the summer and so cold in the winter. Like, you literally have to. And it's not even that, it's just on automatic. So.
Well, you said it's like what, 23 in there right now?
Right in my room right now, it's 25.8.
And you said that you keep it at 13 in the summer?
Between 11 and 12, we try to keep it at, yeah.
So why don't you keep it cooler during the winter?
You don't want them up
because
it's
freezing cold outside. What's up, Hilo?
I mean, but to me, like, I basically keep mine at around like 65, 68.
Jesus.
What's up, Pilo?
What's up, Pilo? Hey, repeat what you just said in the chat.
What did I say?
Yeah. Let's do a shot.
Oh, yeah. Let's do a shot, Rob.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I guess I could do that. I mean, I'll turn that down.
Sweet. Rob's always down for a shot.
Yeah, who else has a shot in the chat?
I didn't even have a drink today until like really late. It was like 9 o'clock or something before I ever even had a drink.
I didn't have one until like 11:07 when I got home.
I had one right when I woke up. Which was like 3:30 this afternoon, so
Nice healthy schedule you got going on over there.
you know what? It's really not. I mean, I'm kind of getting a little depressed because of my sleeping schedule.
Sleep is crucial. I mean, you don't
Oh, I'm
realize
getting lots of it. I'm getting a lot of it. Just, yeah.
I know, but sleeping is crucial because, like, you don't realize it at first. You can get on those, like, late night swings for a while where you're just, like, staying
No,
up
not
late
even.
sleeping.
The past couple nights I've been in bed. I like the other night I went to bed at 9 p.m. and then I woke up at 11:30 in the morning.
Well, that's because
Like
you're so sleep deprived from the other times, though. It takes
No.
a while to, like, recover and get back to a healthy schedule.
Well, there's kind of a little bit of underlying things as to why I'm so exhausted. But yeah, no, like I understand that too. I mean, definitely like being sleep deprived is like a big thing. Like even today, this morning, I didn't go to bed until like 9 in the morning and I woke up at 3:30 and I'm still tired, so.
I got 4 hours of sleep last night, and I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Yeah, I know.
I'm always sleep deprived.
Well, I got a shot.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have my shot left.
I love it. Pilo's always got the bottle.
I love her. Man, Pilo, you're the best. I love you.
Like, I got a
love you
shot
too.
too. Just holding up the whole bottle.
Yeah.
She's like, anybody's gonna do shots with me? Hello, like, you put
Okay.
everybody to shame. It's awesome. Okay.
I love doing that.
You literally, you don't own a shot glass?
I do. I lost it. I
Yeah, why-
actually got one for my birthday.
While you were doing shots,
I've
Like,
always
she
been
probably-
into shot glasses.
she
I've
probably
got, like,
threw
a
it
lot.
across the room one day when she was like, "Hell yeah, hey, Coda."
Well, why dirty a glass?
What?
Why dirty a glass?
Right?
No, let her do the bottle. It's fine.
I'm doing the bottle.
Well, that's what he's saying. Why go through the bother dirtying a glass when you can just take a shot right out of the bottle? So you're both
Yeah,
saying-
exactly. Less dishes.
Saving on water.
Hello, Senor Mustache.
What's
And
up?
saving the environment because you're not putting any soap down on it.
Who's that?
GDS.
Senor
Oh,
Mustache.
what's up, bro? Oh my God, we're the same
Yes.
color. Yes.
What's up? Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Coda.
Okay.
Jesus. What? Kate, you're getting out of here.
Cheers,
Come on,
Rob.
out.
Cheers, P.
You fuck. Come on, out.
Coda's getting escorted out by security.
He just ripped a freaking page off of my diary. My diary from when I was a child, not now.
Yeah, now it would be a log or a ledger.
A
God,
journal.
what a dick. I can't even read it. It's like in Spanish or something. Yeah, never mind.
Get a diary in Spanish?
Yes,
Oh,
that was my
it's a
other diary.
kitty. That's a cute kitty.
Oh my gosh. It looks like it has a... No, I'm not even going to say it.
What's your cat's name?
Coco.
Oh, how cute. My mom's cat's name is Coco.
Yeah, my daughter named her.
Oh. My cat's name is Jojo.
Jojo.
Yeah. She's an ass.
How come?
She just randomly decides to bite me for no reason.
Yeah.
She
My
thinks it's
neighbors
cool.
across the street have a cat that comes over to my house all the time. Like, my mom puts out some food out front there's a couple cats, like 2 doors up. There's a house where nobody's living there. The lady that originally lived there, like, they were her cats, but they'd been outside cats for like over a decade, and so they weren't like people friendly or anything, and kind of became like wild cats over the years. So like, I mean, but it still doesn't excuse the fact that she moved away and she left those cats there. So those cats are just like there.
That's horrible.
Yeah, and so
Sad.
we put out food for them every day, and they always come up and eat. There's 2 of them. There's like a big fluffy golden cat and then a black and white, like short-haired cat. And they always have hung around our yard and stuff. I mean, for as long as I remember. They've got to be older cats. But my neighbor across the street has like this little small cat, and she's real pretty. But they named her Scratch, and she's big. I mean, she comes off all sweet and stuff, and she'll come up and be all friendly, and she'll let you pet her. And I swear, you pet her more than like 3 times, and she just turns on, kisses, and starts scratching like nonstop. It's crazy, but it's like a friendly cat. It doesn't like interaction. It wants to be friendly on its own terms.
Speaking of cats, it's my cat Todd's birthday on Wednesday.
Oh, happy birthday, Todd.
He'll be 3, and he doesn't understand. But
are you gonna have a party?
No. I'll probably just feed him like a can of tuna or something with his meal.
That's
At least
cool.
give him a good pile of catnip or something.
There you go.
No. They do not. That is like, they don't need. Okay, if you knew them, you would think that they were like snorting, well, they were doing stuff. But they're crazy. It's actually, yeah, I don't know. It's his birthday. It's 3 years. I thought it was only 2, but I can't believe I've had him for 3 long ass years.
Can't even remember how old this dog is.
Well, when did you say her birthday was? May 10th or May 2nd? Okay.
And you don't remember what year you got her?
I can't remember. I know my other dog, I remember when I got her, but her birthday was November 2nd. So they were exactly 6 months apart. Like, they were weird. They had, like, their birthday was exactly 6 months apart. They had the same amount of nipples, which was an odd number.
Why would you count their nipples?
You don't know how old the dog is, but you know how many nipples.
It's not like rings on a tree. It's not like, okay, 1, 2, 3, yeah, he must be this old.
When you see an extra nipple, you're like, wait a minute, how many nipples do you have? And then you count them, you're like, oh, wow, look at that, that's weird. But they had an odd number of nipples.
That is, yeah, you're right, that is odd.
I forget what the other things, they had like a bunch of things in common.
That they had the same amount of nipples.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
That was like literally the first place my head went to when I heard nipples. You can pretty much milk anything that has nipples.
I love that movie.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I'm gonna have to watch it soon. Anyways, sorry, you were saying something, yeah.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I can't remember what all the other... What else?
You were just saying how they're born exactly 6 months apart, and there's a bunch of weird stuff about them.
Well, they weren't... Their birthday was 6 months apart. Like, exactly to the day. It's like,
oh, I see, okay. Yeah, your white one was like 8 months old, or 8 years older, or whatever.
Yeah, 7 or 8, something like that. She was born in 2001? Yeah, 2001, November 2001. He was like or no, I think she was like a month shy of like 14 when she died. Or maybe 15. I can't remember.
That's tough.
I don't know. She was in one of my videos, and then she was not in a video ever again. So right about that time, that's when she died.
So what kind of dog was she?
Brittany Spaniel.
A what?
A Brittany Spaniel.
Brittany Spaniel?
Mm-hmm.
Never even heard of a Brittany Spaniel.
It's a bird dog.
They're pretty dogs. One of my friends, actually my friend Justin that joined us like
Oh,
the other evening, like his mom had a couple Britneys.
That's all my dad ever had. He had like one lab and all Britneys.
Oh my god, you guys, look at this picture. Is that not the cutest freaking...
That's what she looked like when she was a puppy.
Oh my god, she is adorable. I mean, that dog in the picture, I'm sure your dog was also adorable. Oh my gosh, so cute.
Oh, my dog was horrible as she got older.
Are there short hair and longer hair Britneys? I want to say the ones that my friend had, they had like it wasn't like long hair, but I mean it was like a couple inches long, kind of like wavy hair.
Like this here, kind of? Like
Yeah.
a little bit longer than that?
Yes, no, like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they have like
about 2 inch long, kind of
Or
wavy
this-
hair. It wasn't
Or
like,
this one here
It
too?
wasn't real straight.
Like the waviness
Yes.
of that one?
Yeah, waviness. That's what I was talking
Yeah.
about.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful too. I love the wavy like hair.
Yeah, they're very hyper dogs. Which didn't work out that great with me. I'm a pretty chill person. But this dog, she's a man. She's not very hyper at all.
You should count your lucky stars.
Well, that's the thing about pit bulls. They kind of like that. They kind of take on your nature. That's why you see a bunch of people that probably should never have a pit bull. They're taking on the nature of that person, and that's probably why they shouldn't have pit bulls. You find someone. I've seen so many people. Like I never was around a pit bull until I moved here. I only heard about them on the news and stuff, and they demonized them. But then I moved here, and I met so many pit bulls, and they were the coolest dogs ever. But they were owned by really cool people.
You're not even allowed to have pit bulls here. Stupid. I know it's like the dumbest. It's actually a law that you're not allowed to have pit bulls within the city limit.
Oh, Winnipeg?
Discrimination.
Yeah.
The
Oh my
dog
God.
racism.
It's discrimination, of course it is. But I'm gonna put my phone down for a bit. It's still here, but it's like overheating.
I just got a new pit bull.
Oh yeah.
No way!
Really?
Yeah, you guys want to see it?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
God!
Yeah,
Duh.
yeah.
Oh my God! Oh my God, that's kind of, whoa! Oh my God, that's how I was like, or this freaking,
The chicken.
I had to,
Aw.
I tricked you guys.
You totally had me.
you had me to,
Baby chickens, when they're in that stage, are so ugly / cute.
Yeah.
they have
They're
that
really cute when
cuteness,
they're
yeah.
tiny, but like they get to that like in between, starting to like get a little bit of real feathers, and they start looking just scraggly and I don't know. They're fugly.
It's
Yep.
actually crazy seeing chickens in, and I don't want to go like all morbid here, but when they like, I don't know, farm them, I guess, for their meat, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a meat eater, like 100%. Like I'm not gonna, stop that, but it just is sad. Anyways.
That was funny though, JDS. I swear. You come back with like a little pit bull puppy, and you come back with like a squawking baby chicken.
Yep.
How many are you up to now? I know you've been like getting more and more. How many you got now?
9 and 1 rooster.
Ugh,
Nice.
roosters.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that on
had,
your
like,
farm? Did you have a farm, JDS? Sorry.
no, not a farm. I just got a big yard. I mean,
And you just have like, so like, what do you just have them for pets or?
no, for the eggs.
Eggs.
Oh,
Yeah. Freaking egg machine.
that's
cool.
awesome. Oh, I would love that.
Yeah,
It
like
should pick up
the
soon.
I plant up the street at my friend Bill's house. They've got like, and the cool thing about chickens is you don't have to have like a huge area to keep chickens either. Like you can keep them and give them a decent area so they like got room to move around and whatnot. But they've got like a corner of their yard fenced off, which is a pretty decent sized little area. But they've probably got like almost 50 chickens, and they get tons of eggs, especially
So-
like when it really gets into like high production time. Like they'll be getting dozens of eggs every like at least a dozen of eggs like every single day.
So I have a couple questions about that. My first question would be, how many? Well, just let me ask my questions, then you guys can answer if you know the answer. How many eggs does like a chicken produce? Like, let's say you have one chicken and it's a week, like 7 days. How many eggs would that chicken produce? And B, when do you know? Like, do you grab the eggs as soon as they're hatched? And then, I mean, forgive my ignorance. Like, do you just grab the egg, like, or because like I'm always like kind of petrified of like cracking an egg and there being like a bird inside. You know?
Well, that's why you make laying boxes for them and try to train them into using those spots to go to lay eggs. And then sometimes they'll want to sit on eggs, so you might have to, get them up to get the eggs. But you go check those boxes every single day and collect eggs. So each day you're seeing what new eggs are coming. And like I said, they get like they've got like at least 40 something chickens, and they get at bare minimum like a dozen eggs per day. Even during the winter, they're still laying eggs. Like they lay eggs all year round. There's
So
different
they have
periods
40. They have
production.
40 chickens.
Yeah, but I say at least a dozen eggs per day because that's like on like slower days they've still been getting about a dozen. But when
That
it really
means
picks
some
up,
of them. That means most of them don't lay eggs during the day. Then.
Yeah, you get like anywhere from like 3 to 6 per week per chicken.
yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but you'll
But
never get
it's a lot. So like I was saying, they get at least
It's
a
a lot.
dozen
Yeah.
a day. They've got like 40. Let's just say
I
they have
don't even.
40 chickens. They get at least a dozen a day. So
That's crazy.
that's
If
7
you,
dozen eggs per week.
if you think about going to the grocery store and getting like a dozen eggs, like that's gonna last you like a week.
Yeah.
And you
So yeah, that's crazy.
You never have to refrigerate the eggs.
Anyways, I don't know. I'm getting tired. Oh shit! See, sorry.
I am too, but the last thing about the eggs is if you have chickens and you're collecting eggs, if you don't wash the eggs, then they will last longer. If you wash the eggs, it washes off like some membrane that's on there, and
Like amniotic fluid or whatever.
yeah, and it makes them not last as long. But if you do not wash the eggs, then they'll last literally like months.
And also, you never get baby chickens unless you have a rooster. Because unless the rooster fertilizes the hen, then you'll actually be able to get baby.
And then they would still have to be kept warm enough to be like incubated to where it would grow.
Yeah. So I guess you would have like just shelves with like lights and whatever, right?
No, they
You-
actually have little like egg incubator things. It's like a little thing with like a dome, and you like put the eggs in there, and it keeps them warm. And it's not hard to do.
Well, I wasn't gonna. I just wanted to know.
Like, I've been around that my whole life. I've always been around chickens. Chickens are
That's so cool. Yeah, no, they are. They're, like the whole classic saying, like a chicken with its head cut off. I think that is absolutely amazing. Like that it can just.
Oh, I've seen it.
they're like
I don't know.
little dinosaurs.
I would be kind of like scared for life if I had actually ever seen that. I think, but the concept is cool. I don't know. It looks just whatever. Anyways, I'm getting tired. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to get off myself.
Anybody else or?
I'm down for whatever.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I have a couple of things I got to do yet before I go to bed. So I'm going to say, see y'all, and I will catch you later.
Night, Rob.
Good night.
Are you
night,
logging
Rob.
off? Okay, good. Good night.
Yeah,
Damn.
I'll see y'all later.
All right, good night,
Bye.
Rob.
Good night to everybody in the chat as well. Bye.
Bye.
Later. I could just make it unlive.
Well, that's what I am saying. Like, I'm ready to pretty much just go into not live mode.
All right. Well, anybody else want to say anything before we roll out? All right.
Catch y'all next time.
Bye, guys.
Hello.
Keep it real, everyone. Later.
See
See you
y'all
guys.
later.